Elites, what's going on? We live action. You already know what it is. Yes, it's me, Captain Vaz, is here to bring you the latest Bleach chapter review. Bleach chapter 575, titled The Killer's High. Now, yes, that was my new intro, and yes, it was made by Jerome, aka Shimigami X. He's a fellow Bleach reviewer all the way from the UK, someone I inspire. If you want to check out his content, link to his channel in the description below. Check him out. Thanks again, Shimigami X. Now, a lot of you, I'm going to say a lot of you, I wasn't going to say all of you at first, but a lot of you have seen the little survey I put up on my Facebook fan page regarding what would you like to see added or taken away or amped in my Bleach reviews. And you all have spoken. Basically, all of you say you like my format, the way you do things. I appreciate that for your input. Some of you like the intro, some of you like certain other things, but this new intro, technically this isn't my first intro. I had an intro way back when I first started YouTube. Then I got rid of it. And this one, you know, I felt that it was about time I had another intro. Plus, it fit well with you all wanting an intro in my video. So, yeah, there you go. So let's get this motivator started. Now, it all starts how we see Grimmy and Kenpachi there continue fighting. Kenpachi, he's slashing down, destroys a big chunk of the platform that they're fighting on. Then it cuts to Naklavar, and he's sitting there just chilling with a damn picnic basket and a pair of binoculars, just watching the fight. And he's impressed that Kenpachi is able to hold his ground against Grimmy. And then we see Peppy. Finally, a full body shot of Peppy sitting Indian style with the weird shoes on his floating device, with his cane, with the or wand or staff or whatever, with the eye on it and the two wings. And basically, they're going on saying how Juha, he should have just kept Grimmy away from this battle, away from the war. They should have just kept him locked up because he's just a monster. Like, he's reckless and powerful and crazy. And of course, that's when they both agree that, hell, they're both kind of crazy and a monster, you know, Peppy and Naklavar. So Naklavar, he gets up to leave. He's questioning by Peppy about where is he going. He's basically saying this isn't the time nor the place to sit here. This is war. And of course, we're near Grimmy fighting. And then that's when Peppy realized, like, yeah, even from that distance, they're not safe. But as Naklavar goes to walk away, he says he's not trying to put down Grimmy, but he said, you know, in that world, you can't really do much by daydreaming. But he said when he's seen Grimmy do the impossible just by daydreaming, they said that's when he realized that the people who can't do anything are the ones who's living the most peacefully. Then it cuts to Kenpachi and Grimmy. The fight continues, and he throws down Yachiru. Kenpachi tells Yachiru that, hey, he can sense Isane's Ryatsu. Go down and get your wrist fixed. So, again, she just real fast. You know, it kind of remind me of, hell, at the end of this fight when Kenpachi, you know, passes out and Yachiru puts her over her shoulder and just flies away. Well, goes from building to building. Anyway, at that point, Grimmy, he goes on to tell Kenpachi, like, hey, I see you noticed. And then he said, why wouldn't I? And when he was talking about I see you noticed, he was talking about he noticed the little weakness in his ability. But the thing is, Kenpachi asked him, what do you want to do with me? Where do you want to go from here? And Grimmy says he wants to fight. So at that point, when he goes on a fight, Kenpachi asks him, like, didn't you say you're the strongest, Quincy? Like, aren't you the greatest? Well, if you're the greatest, shouldn't you be looking for the one who's, shouldn't you be looking for the strongest that's out there? And he goes on to charge Grimmy, and he goes on to be saying, like, if you can get distracted by anything else other than your opponent, then this is not called a fight. And when he goes to rush Grimmy, you see Grimmy makes these odd-looking pillars that go towards Kenpachi and try to crush him. But at that moment, Grimmy, he's thinking to himself, like, man, what did he just say? Like, I never thought about that. Like, I never had this urge to destroy someone because everyone know I am the most powerful. Like, they already know what it is. No one has ever tried to bear the fangs. I mean, basically, no one has ever tried to step to him because they know he's the strongest. So he didn't even have to seek out someone who's stronger or as strong. But he said for some reason, though, he don't know why he's getting that urge to just destroy Kenpachi. And at that point, this is my favorite panel throughout the whole chapter. We see Grimmy, he thinks of a whole arsenal of guns, just ballistic modern weaponry. I mean, the whole assault layout of Call of Duty, Battlefield, Killzone. We see things from Medal of Honor, hell, even Metal Gear and Titanfall. He just thinks of everything, and he's just blasting at Kenpachi. And when I'm seeing this, I'm just thinking, like, this is I can't even just put it into words that after he shoots the bullets, he shoots missiles. And at that point, you see one of the missiles get slashed. You see a big explosion. From the reaction, Grimmy puts his hands up. And that's when Kenpachi says, oh, I see you put your hands up. finally. And then he said, that's a good look for you. And we see the look Grimmy has. He has this freaking sinister grin, and he's just really getting into it. And that's when Kenpachi, he goes on to tell Grimmy that he's starting to enjoy this as well. And then it says to be continued. Alright, now to give my thoughts on this motivator. Alright, this week's Bleach chapter, I enjoyed it more than last week's, but I'm still saying this is like, it's okay. It was, like I said, it's better than last week's, but I still feel it was okay. It was good, but it was like an okay good. It wasn't nothing jaw-dropping or extravagant, and I'm going to tell you why. First, let's look at the highlights of the chapter. It had okay pace. It didn't feel too long. It didn't feel too short. We got to see, we touched bases on what a couple other Star Knights were doing, Peppy and Nak'Lavar. And the thing is, I could have sworn Nak'Lavar was there with Mayuri. I'm not going to say fighting because they did not start a fight. Yes, Nak'Lavar, he did go to walk away, but when he went to walk away, he was trying to lure Mayuri into the trap. And we see Mayuri didn't go for it, but they just exchanged a little bit of dialogue after that, and it just left from there. So I'm thinking, I guess Nak'Lavar really just said, screw this, I'm going to just go. And he's just sitting there chilling. Peppy, yet again, another crazy looking Quincy, you know. We at least got to see a full body shot of him. If anyone is interested in him, you know, I got to count it as a plus. Oh God, who knows what his ability is? You would think someone crazy like him would have an ability like Grimmy's, where he just think of anything. The interesting thing about Grimmy is how you see, Nak'Lavar, he goes on to acknowledge that, yeah, actually both of them, Peppy and Nak'Lavar, go on to acknowledge that this guy is ruthless. Like, he's just, like Juha should have just left him alone. Like, he should have just, not left him alone, but left him away from the war, left him caged up, because they realized, like, damn, he has this ability. And it's crazy, Juha gave him this ability. That's one ability I would not give, you know, Quincy. I just would not, unless it won't affect Juha himself. You know, the abilities he gives these Quincy's, they can't use it on him. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe that's why Juha isn't worried. Another thing, we see Asane, she's okay, you know, because last time we seen her fall, you know, she went to, you know, fall and down, reach after Kensei and Rose. We see their bodies fall. We see she's okay. Yuichiro, yes, that was confirmed. Her wrist was actually broken from Grimmy himself and not just from imagination. This is my whole thing with this fight. This is why you have to be careful with characters like this. You have to be careful because when you make a character that can think of anything, you're waiting for him to end the fight like that. That's my only gripe with this fight. 1 second, Elise. Let me check this battery time. Yeah, we're good. Alright, excuse me. So, my thing is with characters like him, you have to be very careful. Like I said, he went ahead and made Yuichiro's bones into cookies. Why can't he just go ahead and do that with Kenpachi? Hell, make his bones jello. Make his bones water. Make his skin turn into rock. And then blast him with, like, why are you just thinking of these little things that are not going to defeat Kenpachi? This guy put him in water, put him in a deep crevice, and closed it. That didn't do anything. So you think some ballistic, some imaginary modern weaponry is going to take out Kenpachi? And I know what some people are thinking. Well, Ace, if he just go ahead and think Kenpachi to vanish like that, or think Kenpachi to kill him like that, that wouldn't really be a battle. That'd be cheap. You know, what kind of story writing would be that? That's just my thing. So why even have a character like that? Look, one of my cousins, he is very he's like a Marvel buff. I mean, he knows a lot about DC, but he knows a lot about Marvel. Sometimes he be telling me about this character that can alter this reality or warp this dimension or create dimensions or create planets, and sometimes they be villains. Or if they are good guys, no, if they're villains, I always say to him, and how come he, like, who's his opponent? He said, well, he fights him or he has to fight this team. I'm like, why are they still alive? If he can break through the dimensional fabric and warp and alter time, why is he still alive? Same thing with the good guys. I'm like, okay, why is this main villain alive? Well, I'm thinking like, damn, maybe the villain is even more powerful than that. But when you make these characters with these broken hacks abilities, you have to do it right. I'm sorry, so Kenpachi is my second favorite captain, but so far out of all his fights, this one is not reaching the charts of being one of my favorite Kenpachi fights. I mean, now true enough, I know the fight has just started, yes. Alright, we don't even know that we haven't even seen him reveal his Shikai ability. And yes, I said Shikai ability. I know he has a constant Shikai release. The shape is in its Shikai form, yes. But we have yet to see the Shikai ability. Please get that correct, because I've been reading and hearing so many things about that. People are still confused about that. I mean, he never even tried communicating with the Zanpakuto. So, a matter of fact, I don't even think he would have tried to do it. If the Zanpakuto wouldn't have went ahead and called out to him, I bet Kenpachi still wouldn't have tried. I promise you he wouldn't have. Anyway, back to Grimmy. I see why this matchup can go along with Kenpachi because, now I'm talking from a good standpoint of the fight. Because we see now Kenpachi said that thing to him, to where he started thinking. And it brought out this crazy urge to want to take down Kenpachi, because Kenpachi, his name is known. You see, even Knock LeVar, they're like, okay, so you're a Kenpachi. Even Grimmy said it before chapters ago, oh, you're a Kenpachi. This is Kenpachi of Zaraki. People know him. Even the villains who never even met him heard of him. So they know what he's about. They already know what it is. So he knows Kenpachi is very strong. He can sense his Ryatsu. So he's like, okay, I got to amp it up with this guy. Like, he's trying to kill me. I'm thinking of these things that's not killing him. So this is like a new urge for him for the first time. Sort of similar to when Kenpachi went to fight Unohana for the first time, when Kenpachi was little. But yeah, other than that, next chapter, I believe he may finally think of something very critical to hurt Kenpachi, and Kenpachi may be pushed up against the wall, and he would have to release the name of his Shikai. And we'll say the name of his Shikai, activate the ability. I mean, say the name of his Zanpakuto, you know what I'm saying. And activate the ability. But the crazy thing is, Grimmy, his final holy form. Let's not forget about that. Maybe then that's when Kenpachi will have to think of his final, release his Shikai ability. But basically, that's the gist of the chapter. I mean, what else should I touch upon? Oh yeah. Kenpachi, will he ever do Kendo again? How will the damage fare up now that his shackles are off and he can do Kendo? That right there, that should be a good amount of damage towards this Grimmy guy. But Kenpachi shouldn't even be struggling against this guy. This fight should be over like that, unless he just keep thinking of this little stupid stuff. Maybe the things he's thinking about is because he's just at a young age. I mean, but if it was me, I would just say, all right, look, I'll tell other Star Knights, sit back. I'm going to be the star of this whole war. He should have just sent Grimmy into the whole war and just right there. But I don't get it. It has to be something more about it. But like I said, so far, I'm just watching, not watching. It's just cool to see Kenpachi back in the mix. But as far as what's going on, the opponent he's fighting, so far I'm not impressed. And it's just like, this Kubo should have just did something different with this character as far as him thinking up anything. Because like I said, you have a character who could think up anything. He should just, it shouldn't even be a fight. It shouldn't even be a fight. Not at all. Yeah, that's my own thoughts about Elite's, oh man. I think I just about covered everything. We see that's the last of Chiru. She came in, did what she needed to do. Now she's out of the picture. Oh, one more thing before I go. So far, yeah, I think this is the real Kenpachi. A lot of people think this was imaginary Kenpachi. No, I think this is the real deal. Not, but yeah, that's my own thing about Elite. Give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. See you all next week. Thanks for watching this Bleach chapter review. Signing out.